Off nearly 2,400 years ago with this absolute bombshell from the philosopher Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living. I mean, wow. Think about that for a second. It's such a powerful idea, and it's basically the starting pistol for everything we're talking about. He's saying that just going through the motions, it's just not enough.
Okay, so what does he actually mean by examine your life? Is it just, sitting around thinking deep thoughts all day? Not exactly. Socrates was getting at something much, much deeper. It's about questioning the script that society hands us and really looking beyond the surface of our day-to-day lives.
And let's be real, most of us run on a kind of autopilot, don't we? From the time we're kids, we're sort of programmed to chase certain things. You gotta get the right degree, then the good job, the nice car, the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. And that is the unexamined life Socrates was talking about. A life that's run by what everyone else expects instead of by what you've discovered for yourself. So this leads us to the biggest question of all. If you strip away the job title, the car, the social media profile, all of those external labels, what's actually left? Who are you at your very core? And asking that question is the first step away from the problem, the unexamined life, and toward finding our true identity. To figure that out, let's grab onto a fantastic analogy. You are the driver, not the car. This next part is all about understanding the massive difference between the vehicle you're in and the one who's actually behind the wheel. All right, so you've got two things going on here. On one hand, you have the body. That's the car. It's temporary, it's physical, you can see it and touch it. But then there's the soul, or what's called Atma in Sanskrit. That's the driver. It's immortal, it's non-physical, it's the actual source of you being aware right now. And Socrates was totally on this wavelength. He had this great way of putting it. This body of ours, it's basically just an old kind of junky car. Sure, it gets you around, but it gets dense, it gets rusty, and, well, eventually the engine's gonna give out. And he wasn't trying to be a downer. He was making a super important point. Don't ever confuse the car with the driver inside. And that junky car idea flows right into the concept of reincarnation, which, by the way, you find in tons of ancient cultures. The logic is actually pretty simple. When your car finally breaks down for good, you don't just disappear. You, the driver, you get a new car. The soul carries on its journey, just in a different vehicle.
But wait a minute, this opens up a massive question, right? If we are this immortal driver, just hopping from car to car over lifetimes, then what's the whole point of the trip? Where are we even trying to go? Why is this journey happening in the first place?
So if life is this grand road trip, what's the final destination? That's what we're tackling in this next section. The purpose is happiness. And the answer, which you'll find echoed across so many of these wisdom traditions, is actually beautiful in its simplicity. The purpose of life is to be happy. Not happy like you just got a new gadget, but a kind of deep, profound, and lasting happiness. But here's the catch. We have to get specific, because there are really two kinds of happiness. First, there's worldly happiness. That's the temporary stuff that depends on outside things, a promotion, a compliment, a good meal. It feels good, but it fades, and it usually just makes you want more. And then there's true happiness. This is the real deal. It's permanent, it comes from your own inner state, and it leads to genuine freedom and peace. And this state of true, lasting happiness, it has a name, moksha, which means liberation. The analogy used to describe it is perfect. It's like being freed from a prison. It's not about running away from the world. It's about getting to a place where your choices are finally, truly your own, not driven by habit or fear, but by a sense of deep, unshakable freedom. Okay, so we know who we are, we're the driver, and we know our destination, this state of true happiness or liberation. That's the map. But, it's one thing to have a map, and another thing to actually start the engine and begin the drive. How do you turn all this knowledge into a real lived experience? And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most practical, section, engineering your inner world. We're going to look at an actual method for systematically taking charge of your internal world and getting firmly in the driver's seat. To get this, I want you to imagine something. Picture your consciousness as a frozen sponge. Right now, it's totally rigid, it's inflexible, and it's soaked through with all this old, dirty water. That's all of our past conditioning, our old habits, our fears, and our hang-ups. So how in the world do you clean a frozen, dirty sponge? Well, it's a three-step process.
Step 1, you have to soften it. You do this by practicing basic ethics and morality, which starts to thaw out all that rigid thinking. Step 2, you squeeze it. This is where you use discipline to wring out all that old, grimy water of negative conditioning. And finally, step 3, you heat it. You apply intense, focused awareness to transform the clean water that's left, your consciousness, into steam. And that steam, that's liberation. And what's so cool is that as you go through this process, you start on this incredible inner journey. It's a path of realization. You start by truly getting it. Okay, I am not my body. Then you go deeper. I am not my thoughts or my emotions. And deeper still, I'm not even my intellect or my opinions. Until you finally arrive at the ultimate truth. I am the soul. This entire framework, from realizing you're the driver to cleaning the sponge of your consciousness, this whole thing is what you could call inner engineering. It's not some belief system you're supposed to just passively accept. It's a systematic, hands-on process for taking real control of your own inner experience. So we've covered a lot, but it really all comes down to this. The wisdom is pretty clear. The car is yours, but it's just temporary. The road ahead is wide open. And you are the driver.